Yeah. So, this is kind of a simple, easy way to connect to God part two. Just kind of tying up a few loose ends because in the first talk I was telling you, I said in the beginning, I said, there's a couple of things I don't know about the second thing. And I guess I need to kind of talk about that because the thing is, if you're going to let Johnny come over and play, but then traditionally, the way that, and tradition's only been going on for, it's not much of a tradition. It's been going on for, I don't know, 60, 70 years like this. That the way that you do it is how you first, kind of let go and wait until you feel a movement and you freely follow it. Is generally done in the presence of somebody else who has already been doing this, has already received this connection. Because originally there was one person who, received this gift, and this guy was kind of like, he wasn't kind of that much like us. I mean, he was like us. He was an ordinary guy, but had progressed along pretty good, so his soul was already in pretty good shape. So he could, understand more on how it was in a better condition. So he could, take this thing that you can kind of play with a little bit, but he could really say, "Oh yeah, and look here's what else you can see. What you can do this like this." So he could really, he gave us a lot of explanations. Uh, his name was Subi. Subi, and he died about 30 years ago. Let's see, he died in 1987, so through 26, he died 26 years ago. But before he died, he passed out this connection. In other words, you would stand, at first you would stand with him and some other people that he'd already passed it out to. But originally, he would just stand there with you and say, you want to receive this gift, and the person, would say, yeah, I want to receive it or something, and they could just stand quietly and relax. And then he would, allow the gift to work in him. He wouldn't be paying any attention to you. He'd be paying attention to the gift working in him. And it wouldn't, it wouldn't be directed toward you. Okay, now we're going to open palm. It wouldn't be like that. It'd be like he'd just be receiving, and he wouldn't have any real notion about what you did. But somehow, um, being in the presence of that person receiving, letting God play in them, receiving in them, would facilitate and would help um, you to feel that movement and get started or be open. It's a little over my head. I know that it worked and it still works. Amazing. But so that's the part two. Um, and there's, a lot of people on the earth receive the gift. There's an organization. The organization is kind of, it has its good side and its bad side, as organizations do. But the gift is terrific, and I can tell you, it's worked. It's done everything he said it would do. Marvelous stuff. Done a lot of great things for me, and I'm not going to start advertising. I'm not going to tell you what they were. Although, if I got to know you, we could talk about some things. Sure, I could tell you stories and stuff and things, and lots of people have had experiences, but I don't want to kind of get your, I'm not going to try and sell this to you. But I can tell you, yeah, no, it's great. I'm 100% for it. Anyway, he would pass this gift out. Then, you pass it out to other people, and the nature of it is that once they've been doing it for a little while, they can pass it out to somebody else. You know, so whoop, 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 and everybody can get it. So that would be an issue with you if you wanted to, you know, have that happen. I'm not sure whether you could just do it by yourself. You might be able to. You might be able to just stand up, go in a room somewhere and just kind of wait. But in general, with human beings, it generally helps if a bunch of people are doing something. That helps in some way. I can't say exactly how. Somehow it does help. All of them sing the song together. It's easier to sing the song in some way, with a bunch of other people, isn't it? But this is a little different. I mean, because you're not doing what other people are doing in the room. If there's a bunch of other people receiving a gift in the room with you, generally, it's like your own sex, and there's reasons for that. But you're not doing what they're doing. You're receiving for yourself, and what you're doing may be absolutely 100% different from what somebody else is doing. So there's that issue, and I don't really know exactly how to answer that. You can contact me, and if you decide you want to let Johnny play in the yard. Try it out, Be open-minded. See, yeah, let's see what that does. Don't be afraid. I mean, I've been doing it for 50 years. It's I'm alive and well and kicking. And lots of other people are too. And there's never nothing bad happens to you. Let Johnny play in the backyard. What's going to happen? It's going to be bad. In fact, it's going to be even better than when Johnny plays in the back. Why? Because Johnny, even though he's a good kid, he might occasionally break something. But the thing about the Almighty is the Almighty never breaks anything. Never harms you in any way at all. It's amazing, and somehow manages to keep you going even when you think, oh God, this feeling, that feeling, kind of conflicting, but he keeps you going. So I don't know exactly what to tell you. Well, contact me, and you can leave a message for me on my Facebook page, or if you know just a little bit about things, you can go here to the YouTube thing, and you can find in there, my about thing or something. There's a place there where you can leave a message. And, leave me a phone number or email me, and I'll leave you a way. We can talk. We could Skype, or we could video chat. You can talk to me, face to face, and we can figure out, some cool ways to meet each other, or I could direct you to some people who have that gift, and help you with that. Then you get it yourself. Now I say you might be able to do it, but Subi said it hardly ever happens that way. And there's kind of a reason for that, because, a man, when he gets a new activity, doesn't know much about it, doesn't understand much. Why, it's hard for him sometimes, because, it's hard to mind when he starts saying, well, I don't know. Like take my case, for instance, I went and received that contact with a group, and I had to sit outside while they did it for a couple of months. It was going to be 3 months, and then after 6 weeks, they said, well, yeah, no, you're okay, come on in. And then, I didn't really notice much of anything for I was waiting for that movement. I wanted to have something really happen to me. I didn't want some kind of thing where I was pretending at all as a young, fervent lad, and wasn't going to be any kind of intellectual. I didn't want to be fooled by anything. It had to be real, but even then, I think it took me about 6 times, and then there it was. It was something I never felt before. It was a movement in my being that, and then when I would just kind of, I could stop it just like that if I wanted to. And when I let go, I would leave, start it. And that started me out way back when, 48. Let's see, what has it been? 2013, 49, almost 49 years I was working with Jim. It's 49 years ago. We progressed. Because, God, there are many, many areas of the human soul, human person, human being, human body. Many, many different things, nerves, feelings, the body itself, your eyes, your character, your emotions, your heart, feelings. Did I say that already? And eventually, your brain and consciousness. But all along the way, with me, Subi, who kind of knew things, new stuff, he'd say, he'd say little things like, when you're doing the exercise, don't think about it, just let it happen. And stuff. He'd tell you things. And you didn't really understand, exactly what it was all about. But if you were kind of open-minded, it's okay, sure, he kind of seems like he demonstrates and shows. He was a great guy, very funny, and just, very, very ordinary, but somehow more than ordinary. And, he's like a movie star or something, but, very, very modest. Didn't put on any airs ever. He never claimed to be anybody special. Anyway, so he kind of gave us explanations about different things that we might come across. And he kind of told us how things would generally sort of progress, what we would come to, and what we might come to, and things like that, and how just to go on about our regular lives. And the other part of it, and I think it's important for me to mention that too, that, it's just half an hour twice a week. You don't want to be ambitious about this thing. It's a little bit kind of like eating a rich piece of cake. It's really good, but you don't want to eat more than one a week. It's just too much for your system. And God is made up, it's kind of like that tsunami. Wow, that's a bad example. But, it's like, a wave comes by you and you think, oh, it's just a wave, but then you feel the force of that wave. It's pretty powerful. There's a little power in that wave. And it's like that with the Almighty working on you, that, half an hour, this half an hour twice a week isn't just something that somebody kind of arbitrarily decided. It's pretty much, if you kind of tell, if you're in a place which you won't be able to at first, because your feelings will be all kind of dirtied up and you won't hardly be able to tell much about what's going on. You may run around the room and sing, or start shouting out something or another, but you don't know what you're shouting out. You don't know why you're running around, but you just accept it. And the reason for that is because way down the road, many years later, as your feelings gets to your feelings, it goes to your body first. Physical body needs to be healthy. Generally, talking about it, but I mean, it's working, and it's working in a lot of areas, but in the main, it works like that. And so, the great thing is that you don't need to think about it. You don't need to understand. It's like learn by doing. So, I mean, you let God work in you and you see what the result is. That's all you need to do. and you just go on about your regular life. It's important that when you let Johnny play, you don't go, hate whatever. You don't go crazy about him. Just insist that he stay over all the time. His mother's coming over. What have you done with my son? No, keep it balanced. And of course, your own life is very interesting to you, and so you go right ahead. Run your business. Go to work. Play with your kids. You don't need to concern yourself. God will do the work, not you. And you don't need to be different than him because you have God working. I have God working with me. You don't need to do that. Don't do that. Just be cool and, let God work in you. And just be normal, regular about things. Stay in your own nature, So I guess that's about all I could tell you. I have a tendency to be a little bit kind of, or whatever kind of thing, because nobody has ever responded to this. Nobody. I mean, my kids, they think it's good. They already received this gift. Regular people, they don't respond. Nobody comments. Nobody ever wants to have the gift that you have. But I'm gonna, if you do want to have it, why, good, and I'll see to it, and I don't make things up, so I'll see to it that we'll arrange this between us, I'll arrange so that you can have the chance to have this gift. And I don't know, because I've never experienced it, have I? I haven't experienced trying to do it myself on my own. I never really thought of that. Nothing would ever occur to me to do that. Just sit and wait. I mean, what, And I'd be thinking about things, and pretty soon I think, oh God, I'm wasting time. I can't do this anymore. This is silly. Because, it varies with the person. Now, some people might feel that movement right away, but a lot of times, people are so kind of, there's a lot of stuff. So they have to kind of be prepped by the Almighty. And so it might take a while. It might take a couple of weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks. It's working. I can say that because I know what it is now. I understand it. I'm more aware of it. But it's working, but you might not know it. It might take a while. When it does happen, though, it will be something that you've never really felt. Movement inside your being, most likely, never been really that aware of anything like it ever happened to you. So this is something kind of new. It's nice. It's a good new. Imagine that. It's just like, when you do some kind of good thing and you get healthy and then you feel better all the time. You're like, oh, this is great. I feel much better than I used to. Well, it's that kind of thing. Okay, so there it is. I think I kind of covered things. I'm not going to talk about the group very much because, as I say, groups are, by their nature, human beings. And this really isn't about really other human beings. It's about you and Johnny, letting God play in your yard. It's not about anybody else. It's not about me. It's not about even you, in a sense. I mean, it's not about, how do you, it's like a thing that you're kind of letting happen to you. Being willing to be open to it. It's pretty natural. Very natural, actually. Anywho, so I don't want to keep waddling on here. So anyway, that's the deal. If you're interested, have a feeling, whenever you look at things, have a little talk with yourself and ask yourself, I mean, if you're interested, I'm not gonna put anything on interested. Like, give me a holler, look me up. I I'm not gonna give out my phone number in public, but I don't even. That's okay because I live out in the country right now at the moment. I live in big cities most of my life, but right now I'm out in the country. And we don't get reception out here. But I do. My son has a cell phone, so you could reach me that way via that. Anyway, if you have a feeling or you want to try it, I mean, give me a ring, give me a holler, send me an email, send me a message, and I'll get back to you. Okay?